Hey everyone, this video is going to be a vintage horror book collection update. I haven't been buying too many old books recently, so I've been buying like one every couple weeks, that sort of thing. So I just decided to I'll wait till I have quite a few of them and then just make one video about them. Also, more disclaimers, I have not read any of these books, so I can't really say too I guess in the greatest detail what they're about, except for what the back of the book says or what I've heard from the internet. But yeah, all these books are fairly old, although one of them is not that old, but still, I just want to show it. So yeah, in this video I'm gonna just show the covers, and I'll read the back of the book for to say what's it about, at least for some of them, because some of them I feel like they don't really need any explanation, and some I can't explain because it's like an anthology kind of book. Anyways, with that being said, I'll just get straight to the video. Okay, first one, and this is like my favorite out of all these books, just because of the cover and the fact that this book's kind of hard to get. But this is Schoolhouse by Lee something. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. But this book came out in 1988. Just look at that cover. Reminds me of like an old Goosebumps cover. Really cool. Show the back of it. You see it's kind of beat up. Like see the spine, and there's like some stuff in the everything, and some of the pages kind of, or at least the outside of them. I'll show. The outside of the pages are pretty yellow, but the inside are pretty white. So, you know. But yeah, this one is I know I saw like a year ago on eBay. I wanted to get it, but I got outbidded. But this time I was able to find a guy who he sold it for like I think it was $18, which that's a little expensive. But this book is kind of hard, so I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty fair price. Anyways, I'm gonna read the back of the book to see what's it about. Some said Victory School was haunted, that after the final bell had rung and the last child had filed out the school doors, ghosts of teachers long dead walked the hallways, and specters of students in outdated clothing floated through the dark and empty classrooms. Plus, they were all those strange accidents. All in all, it was a relief that the Board of Education had decided to close the school forever. Fifth grader Ned Bradley knew that something weird was going on at school. He'd seen the ghost with his very own eyes. His father, who happened to be the principal, told him he'd been watching too many monster movies. But Ned knew better. He knew that closing the school was a bad idea. A very bad idea. Because now, the evil that stalked the school would only have a few months to take its revenge. A revenge that would be the ultimate in deadly terror. Okay, so hopefully I didn't do a too bad job narrating that. But yeah, this one sounds fun, So, I guess I'll get to that eventually. I've got to be careful with this book because it's, again, kind of old and not the greatest condition. So, but yeah, I think they'll look great on the shelf. Okay, next book. This one came out in 2001, and it's not really rare or that old, to be honest. But I saw I just include it because I include a bunch of other books. And plus, also, as far as I know, this book isn't in print, because I don't think you can get it digitally. And most times you just have to find used copies. Granted, though, they're not that expensive to get used copies. So again, it's not rare or that old. Because again, it only came out in 2001, so it's only like 20 years ago. But that's Dreadful Tales by Richard Lehman. I'll just show the cover to this one, because I mean you can't see too much of it, but it looks pretty good. It's like some spooky house with like dead trees and But this is a anthology book. It has 25 tales of terror in one book. So yeah, this one I can't really go too much what's it about, but I'll just show the back of it. I guess if you so desire, you can just read the back of it. Anyways. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Richard Lehman. His books are, pretty fun. They're not the best written, but they're always fun. And I'm interested in seeing like with this kind of like 25 tales, because I really like anthology books. Here's another one from Richard Lehman. Although when this one got published, it was originally under the name Richard Kelly, which was to get kind of what's the word? Like he named it, like he picked that pen name after his daughter, Kelly. Like her name is Kelly Lehman, but that's Midnight's Lair. Show the cover. Looks so. I just love this cover. I wish I had like a big painting of it on my wall or something. Show the back of it. Okay, I'll just read what's it about. Oh, I forgot. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I could have, but this one came out in 1994. So this one's it's getting there in age. And all these books I got for, like I may have said this also before, I can't remember, but I got them. Aside from the Schoolhouse one, that one I paid like $18-20 for. A lot of these I only paid like $9 to $10 for. So and also that was with free shipping, so that was pretty good. Anyways, this one. Okay, now I'm gonna say what the Midnight's Lair is about. Mordoc's Cave is one of the wonders of the world, a place where thousands of sightseers every year take an awe-inspiring boat trip on a lake beneath the Earth's surface and marvel at nature's handiwork. But the darkness is also the home of things nature never intended, things violent, bestial, and obscenely evil. And when a sudden power failure traps a group of tourists on the ground, the unnatural creatures who dwell there emerge from the depths. Just that means like depths isn't like deep, not like death isn't dead. Because again, I always mispronounce words, but yeah, this one seems very much like the movie The Descent. If you ever seen that one, that's like a British movie. Where these girls, they go in like some I guess a little trip in an underground like some cave system and a mountain. That's a really good movie, by the way. But yeah, that one I'm because like I said, it sounds like it's pretty much like the movie Descent, because from it has all they're talking about these creatures that live down there. So that'll be a fun one. I have really good things about it too. Okay, next book. This is a book from an author. I've read some of his works before, but that was like many years ago. But that book was Slugs and Breeding Ground. Well, those are two different books. Like Breeding Ground is the sequel to Slugs, but this is Spawn by Sean Hudson. Yeah, the lighting kind of messes up the cover because it's really dark and everything. Anyways, but yeah, it's quite the interesting cover to say the least. Show the back of it. Okay. Now I'll just get to read what the back of the book says. Then released from a mental hospital where he has spent all his adult life, Harold Pierce is given a job as a hospital porter, but that job involves the disposal of aborted fetuses, something which brings back nightmare memories of Harold's accidental killing of his baby brother years before. A time of trauma and terror has begun, terror heightened by the escape from prison of convicted killer Paul Harvey, who, hunted by the police, embarks on a murderous rampage. Pierce and Harvey, both disturbed, are about to unleash a terror beyond belief. Yeah, this one I know a bit more about it because it was featured in the book Paperbacks from Hell. If you don't know what that book is, it's just a book that it talks about a bunch of horror novels from the 70s and 80s. It shows the covers and what they're about and everything like that. So I heard about that book from I heard about this book from that book, and I've been meaning to get it, but I never got around to it. But yeah, that one sounds interesting to say the least. Here's another book from Sean Hudson. Oh, actually, maybe I forgot to mention when the Spawn came out, and that came out in 1992. Okay, next, this is Sean Hudson's Assassin. This came out in 1990. I like this cover, just like it's like a zombie hand holding a gun. Pretty cool. But show the back of it. I'll just read it. London was in the grip of its bloodiest bout of gang warfare for 2 years. Shootings in the street, kidnapping, and car chases. Until now, Frank Harrison had ruled gangland, but it looked as if that reign was about to end in blood. Someone was out to destroy him and his men, to wipe out everyone associated with him. But who? Harrison had to know. And into this world of violence, corruption, madness, and death came the assassin, a force more powerful than vengeance, more lethal than a lorry full of high velocity weapons, and more terrifying than any nightmare. So from the sound of that, I'm guessing it's like about some undead guy. Cause again, look at his hand. It's about some undead guy going. He's gonna go like Punisher on those that gang that's terrorizing London. So that I heard some really good reviews from that book, so I'm really interested in reading it because people say it's like, oh, it gets straight to the action like right away. All right, next one we got. Okay, the rest of these books they're all from the same author. They're all from. I just show the book first. Okay, the author is Guy N. Smith. You can see his name on the top of there. I got a bunch of books from him because I've been a fan of his work for well, I only read his books like maybe 6 to 8 months ago. I first read this. What was it? I think it was The Slime Beast. And if you don't know Guy N. Smith, he makes a bunch of books that are pretty pulpy and cheesy. They're usually about like when nature attacks or it's about some weird creature that goes on a rampage. Like for example, his most famous book is Night of the Crabs, and that's about giant killer crabs going on a rampage, like just like chopping people up in half and that sort of thing. I've been really meaning to get into those books. They're all available on Amazon Kindle, so I'll probably just check out that because they're pretty hard to get physically, so I'll probably just get them all digitally on ebook. I much prefer physical. Anyways, but yeah, this is his book Snakes. Let's see, this one came out in 1986. And well, I guess one thing I should mention, it's kind of a buzzkill, but yeah, tragically, Guy N. Smith, he passed away recently. I think it was on Christmas Eve, 2020. He died of complications of COVID. So yeah, that's a damn shame. But I guess with that being said, just want to mention that because I heard about that a while back. Like it was like a week after he died, and I was like, oh shit, So I felt like, I should maybe get some of his books and read them, kind of like to honor him, that sort of thing. I mean, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I should really get to move on. But yeah, this is Snakes. This one, I don't really need to explain it. I'll show the back of the book. This one I'm not going to read because it's just kind of, they just take sentences from the actual book, like certain kills in the book about these snakes. But as you can guess, yeah, it's just snakes going on a rampage. So that'll be pretty fun because he made some really like pulpy, cheesy books, but they're all like really fun and they're super fast reads. Like you can read them in one like in an afternoon, that sort of thing. Okay, here's his next book. This one, let's see when did it come out. It came out in 1979. But this is Locusts, like locusts. Yeah, I pronounce things really weird. But yeah, it's quite the graphic cover to say the least. Look at that, like. I'm sure I don't need to explain what this one's about. I'll show the back of this book. Britain is being eaten alive. Okay, this one I'll read the back of it. Let's see. It seems the start of a glorious summer as Alan Alton and his family settle into their new home in the Shropshire Hills. Then the insects start to appear. First, there's one, then hundreds, thousands, millions. A smothering tide of destruction covers the land. As the heat wave continues week after week. The horde of invaders grow, a hideous red-eyed devastation spreading across town and country, biting, stripping, devouring everything and everyone in their path. Locusts. But yeah, this one again seems pretty pulpy, but I'm pretty interested in reading it because just well, yeah, it's about locusts just going on a rampage and eating everyone. Okay, next book. Again, another Guy and Smith one. This one came out in let's see, this one came out in 1984. This is Accursed. I really like this cover. See though, like show the back of it, then I'll read it. Okay, let's see. Something monstrously old and vile had been brought back by him. Something that had lain in darkness for 3,000 years, feeding on the juices of its own hatred and decay, like some gigantic chrysalis of evil, until it was disturbed, dug up, split open to allow its vengeful bile to seep out, releasing the curse of ancient gods doing battle once more, while the 7 plagues of Egypt were reborn, crawling out of the dark places to corrupt and destroy the flesh, to strip bare the mind, left pulsing, unprotected against a lethal injection of all-destroying horror. So yeah, for my guesses, there's some people, they come across a mummy's tomb and they unleash a curse upon everyone. Again, sounds pretty fun. A lot of these books are pretty good condition despite their age, you know. Again, I got them for a pretty good price. Alright. Okay, next book. This is Warhead, and this came out in 1981, I believe. Yeah, 1981. It's quite the interesting cover. It's not the coolest one of the ones I've shown here, but I still think it's pretty neat. Here's the back of it. Can I just read what's it about? The overwhelming power of the dark gods of voodoo. He knew about that. Everyone in Haiti knew and feared. He knew that man could try to use that power, could summon it, but would lose control to it. Once he had tried and a man, a friend, had died, seared and blackened by the white heat of the voodoo fire. But there was another power that could destroy utterly, created by man. It lay dormant, but always ready, on the ground, fueled and targeted. It lurked in the secret launch silos. Both powers were attended by ritual, watched over by a secret band of guardians, and if those two powers should ever come together, there would be no future beyond an unendearing instant of total agony. Now the point of final fusion had been chosen, and the countdown had begun. Okay, yeah, I think I kind of butchered that narration, but well. But this one, it seems like it's about some guy with voodoo powers. He's just gonna try to use those powers to get a hold of some nukes, and then he wants to apparently destroy the world. This book, again, was released in the 80s, so I guess it was during the Cold War and everything, when the Soviets and the US was threatening to blow each other up sometimes. Okay, this is the last one. This is Phobia, and came out in 1994. Also from Guy and Smith, because again, as I said, the last 5 were from him. Quite the interesting cover. It's not it's pretty. It sees like a house, the doors open, and then you see some giant creature in there. Show the back of it. Okay, I'll just read the back of it. Number 13 Schooner Street was a typical terraced house in an up-and-coming area of South London, or so John and Leah Strike thought when they first moved in with their children. But then the nightmare started. But then the nightmares started. Vivid, harrowing images of gruesome violence that tore into their consciousness, leaving behind rabid, phobic reactions to the simplest of everyday things, caught in the web of their own deepest fears, too scared to leave home, too terrified to remain. Reason told them that the only thing to fear was fear itself, but then the terrors that festered in the shadows of that evil house took on a life of their own, and the grisly killings began. Phobia is the terrifying tale of mind terror where no secret fear is safe, no nightmare too horrible to come true, and even the grave is no place to rest in peace. So again, this one just seems like a family moves into a house in South London, and then it seems like there's like some weird entity maybe, or just something causing all these nightmares and all this paranormal activity. So this one sounds a little bit different. I mean, I guess it's still pulpy, but it's a little different compared to the other ones, which were about just like kill creatures and animals and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's all my books. So I guess I'm just gonna end the video now. Yeah, again, I'm sorry for butchering all the narrations, but yeah, again, like all my other videos just are kind of unscripted. I just sort of make them whenever, because I got the last of these books in the mail today, so I figured that I might as well just film it. So, anyways, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.